All right, people, going live on the website this week, we are back with some more land in planningless and zoningless Socorro County. This time, however, we are not in any of the usual subdivisions we normally list land in, but rather a different subdivision a little further removed, one that we have only had opportunity to buy and sell in a few times, but one which past buyers have really liked, really responded well to, and one which I believe you will as well. This one features no zoning or restrictions, is very private, and is priced at a mere $1,000 an acre with very affordable financing. So if you're as eager to hear about this one as I am to tell you about it, let's go to the map together. Here we go, guys. Alright, so just to acclimate us here, we are looking now at a map of central New Mexico. Albuquerque is up here. And if we get on the I-25 and drive south for about 40 minutes, past Los Lunas and past Berlin, we will come to Socorro County. And if we zoom in on the map, we will see the pin located over here, just west of the I-25, and just north of the town of Magdalena, as well as Highway 60 down here. That pin, by the way, is the subject property, and it is located in a subdivision known as Valle de Mañana, which occupies roughly all the land you see here. Now, just to stay on the map for a second here, as you can imagine, this is a very rural area. You've got the Sevalita National Wildlife Refuge over here, the San Lorenzo Canyon down here, and not much else in between. That said, you will notice on the map there is a road snaking through this region all the way from the I-25 up and over and back around and down to Magdalena. Point being, it connects the two and works as a reliable access point whether you are coming from the east or from the south. Now, depending on what part of this road you're looking at on a map, it will either be identified as State Road 12 or Forest Road 354. Additionally, County Road 51 branches off the state road and runs through the other portions of this region, and hence the Valle de Mañana subdivision. And this is all my way of saying, guys, that however remote this subdivision and today's property may be, they are still easily accessible via these roads, which are maintained year-round. And as I've been talking, my video editor has no doubt been showing you examples of what these roads look like. Of course, guys, however well maintained this road is, this is still a remote part of New Mexico hill country, so if you do decide to take a drive out here, I'd recommend a larger truck or off-road capable vehicle, and just to be safe, I'd probably also take a spare tire with me as well. Alright, so the carved up area we see on the map here is the Valle de Mañana subdivision. This is another one of these areas where a developer came in, bought up a couple thousand acres of land, chopped everything up into generously portioned 5-acre parcels, and resold them to the general public. And despite the rural setting of this subdivision, you will find some unexpected things out here. Thing number one, people live here. Obviously, it's not suffering from overdevelopment, but there are residential home sites, some ranchettes, and some small family farms in this region. Thing number two is the presence of utilities, which do actually exist out here in the form of both residential power lines as well as underground telecom boxes. Now, to be clear, guys, these utilities do not run up and down every road. They do not touch every property, but there are at least enough of them to suggest that they can be extended and or connected to whatever structure you are developing for less than you might assume. In short, despite looking like the middle of nowhere, it does have utilities, and you will not be forced to develop this off the grid if you do not want to. Thing number three, and this ties back to what I was discussing earlier, roads. They're in pretty good shape, which again, for a region that doesn't see a ton of regular traffic, it's a nice thing to have. Now, when it comes to the subject property, a couple things to know. Number one, the listing that we are looking at today is 10 acres of land, or rather a combination of 2 adjacent 5-acre parcels. Number two, your nearest neighbor, which looks like this, is roughly about a half-mile away over here, so again, plenty of privacy. Number three, the subject property sits about a half-mile south of County Road 51. It is along, or just off County Road 51, where you will find the nearest residential power lines, so roughly a half-mile from the subject property. And finally, guys, and this is the point I know all of you are going to ask about, despite the rural nature of its setting, this property does have legal access. This property was insured by New Mexico Land and title companies don't insure things that don't have legal access. So, despite all appearance to the contrary, this one does. Now, mind you guys, for however well maintained many of the primary roads are in this area, the smaller, we'll call them side streets, don't see as much traffic and thus are not as well defined. Doesn't mean they don't exist, they're just not well defined. So, for instance, If we come to the arcane plat map the county provided for us, you will see first in the wider shot here that this entire sub was drawn up with an eye toward providing legal access to every parcel. And when we go to the zoomed in image here, you can see that this one has it here along the western boundary. Now, for those of you wondering what this Y-shaped thing is, I am not entirely certain myself. This looks to me more like a utility easement, but as there are no power lines running through the land, it's difficult to confirm that. Either way, if we go back to Google Maps, you can see the outline of what clearly look to be grid-style roads which lead out to the land. Those, by the way, look like this. And we can also see from the drone overhead shots such as this, that even if those are not ideal access roads, you have this Y-shaped road cutting through the property. Either way, guys, for those of you who worry about such things, yes, legal access exists, and if you purchase this property, you will not have to cross anyone else's land to get to your own. In regards to the Y-shaped path cutting through the property, that may be more the product of decades of yahoos on dirt bikes going wherever they please, but if it were me, I would confirm that with a surveyor. Either way, guys, you should be able to fence off the land with little, if any, resistance. Next, let's talk about zoning. There is none! Yes, people, as we have covered in countless, too many to count videos, Socorro County has no planning and zoning office. And as they write on their county website, they quote, "Do not restrict the use of real property." In addition, the Valle de Mañana subdivision has no HOA, no annual dues, and there are neither covenants nor restrictions on file with the county, meaning that when the subdivision was first created, nobody wrote any additional rules for landowners to conform to, not even minimum square footage requirements. And when you add all those things up, it makes this property ideal for those looking to build non-conforming or unconventional structures difficult to get permitted elsewhere. What does that mean exactly? It means there was an old woman who lived in a shoe, and in Socorro County, you can too. Tiny homes, shipping containers, earthship homes, geodesic domes, whatever your little heart desires, if you can build it, you can live in it out here. Additionally, it also means you can use the land for recreational purposes, such as camping and RVing for indiscriminate periods of time. And of course, given the region that you're in out here, it also makes the property ideal for riding dirt bikes, shooting guns, and being all around awesome. Finally, guys, one of the other really nice things about land in this region is your proximity not only to the largest metropolitan area in the state in nearby Albuquerque up north, but also Elephant Butte Lake, the largest body of water in the state, located just an hour south. So, of course, on the weekends, guys, you can take your RV down there and camp out. You can rent a boat, do some fishing, do some water sports, general relaxation, guys. Then return on Monday to Socorro County and the land you call home. So if you would like to purchase this property, you will be glad to know that we are offering these 10 acres for the low cash price of $10,000, or hang on, let me do the math, yes, $1,000 an acre. And as with all of our listings, we have two easy ways to purchase this property: buy for cash or buy on terms. Here is how both of those processes will play out. So first, guys, for those of you who have all the money right now and want to pay for the property all at once, just come up here, click this Buy Now button, and you will be directed to this checkout. We ask for a non-refundable earnest money deposit of $500. People, let me say that again, non-refundable earnest money deposit of $500. At checkout, guys, you'll be asked how you want to fund and close this purchase. Some buyers are cool with paying us directly and letting us handle the conveyance. Other buyers want title insurance and elect instead to close through a title company. The choice is entirely up to you. Whatever that choice may be, we will get you documentation within 24 hours for you to review. If you elect to pay us directly, that documentation will include a new deed plus payment link for the remaining balance. If instead you choose to close through title and escrow, that documentation will include a sale purchase agreement. Basically, the way that one works is you sign it, we submit it to title, and they do the rest. And as always, guys, a copy of the sale purchase agreement you'll be asked to sign can be viewed at this link. That way you know the exact terms of the deal. Now, if, however, guys, you do not have the entire purchase price of the property, if you do not have a spare $10,000 laying around, you will be glad to know that, like all of our properties, we have an owner financing option. Simply come to this button here, and you will see the terms are $2,500 down, $250 a month, for 42 months with 180 days, or 6 months, same as cash. Simply check out here by placing the $2,500 down payment, and within 24 hours, you will receive documentation from us, which will include a land contract demonstrating your equitable interest in the property. And as with all of our contracts, guys, if you would like to see what the land contract looks like, you can click this link here so you will know exactly what you'll be asked to sign before placing even $1.